The House Oversight Committee voting Wednesday to subpoena Attorney General Pam Bondi to answer questions about her handling of the Epstein files.
Move to subpoena Bondi came not from Democrats on the committee, but from Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Mace wrote in part on X, AG Bondi claims the DOJ has released all of the Epstein files, but the record is clear that they have not. Videos are missing, audio is missing, logs are missing. There are millions more documents out there. We want to know why the DOJ is more focused on shielding the powerful than delivering justice.
The move comes just a week after reports that the DOJ improperly withheld some documents from the public that detailed one woman's accusations against Trump. The DOJ said it's looking into that. But several FBI interview summaries were also reportedly missing. Those interviews were reportedly conducted with an unidentified woman who claimed she was assaulted by both Trump and Epstein when she was a minor in the 1980s. And then this week, an analysis from CBS showed thousands of files were removed from the public view after being published. The DOJ says those documents are undergoing further review and will be republished soon.
Meanwhile, Bondi isn't the only one who the committee wants to hear from. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick voluntarily agreed to be interviewed by the committee earlier this week, and Committee Chair James Comer called on 7 others to give testimony in a post on X. Those include Bill Gates, former White House counsel Catherine Rumler, investor Leon Black, businessman Doug Band, billionaire Ted Waite, and 2 of Epstein's former aides, Leslie Groff and Sarah Kellen. Mace responded to that post, writing in part, quote, "This is a solid start. The Oversight Committee, however, needs to bring in more individuals." She went on to list dozens more names, vowed that more subpoenas are coming. It's unclear if and when any of those people Comer named will speak to the committee. As for Bondi, her office has not commented on the subpoena as of this morning. Look, this is Pam Bondi's mess to a great extent. She misinformed the public when she commented on this issue without knowing enough about it initially, when she released files that had already been released to random influencers.
I'm about to say, about a year ago, she started this with that binder.
She implied she had such a document as the Epstein client list,
right?
A document which does not appear in the files that were released. I don't believe that document exists, but she said it existed. I think she misspoke when she said. But
she can explain?
Well, sure. So she's going to have to, she can testify until the cows come home, to use a phrase Hillary Clinton used in her own deposition. That's fine. Do I think we're going to get at more information, really, that is pertinent that we don't have? No, but she messed this up, so go ahead and question her. And Howard Lutnick obviously should be questioned because of Nancy Mace's own line of questioning of Hillary Clinton was all about how she had a connection to Epstein that she didn't have, that Lutnick had. So given that she asked Hillary Clinton, who was another 6 degrees of separation of Kevin Bacon removed, then she's got to ask Lutnick about it because he was far more proximate. Now, I don't think it matters, and I don't think it points at new crimes that are coming to light, and I think this whole thing is so absurd, and Democrats are doing it to hurt Trump.
Nancy Mace pushed this forward. What do you... Stop. No, you can't do this all the time. You cannot take a Republican doing something like Thomas Massey or Marjorie Taylor Greene or Nancy Mace and say, oh, it's a Democrat. Like, that. No Democrat is telling these people how to behave. Marjorie Taylor Greene feels the way about the things she feels the way about. Thomas Massey feels the way about the Epstein file. Nancy Mace is a survivor, she says. And so she is pushing for... This is what she says. That's what I'm telling you. That she said, right? She said it on the floor, so she's protected. So she is pushing forward with something that she would like to see happen. Why does that have anything to do with Democrats? I want you to really help me understand your mindset here.
I'm with our president, Donald Trump, and I would call some of these people in and tell them to drop this immediately, or they'll never get another kind word from him, and that's what I would do. But
I just think if we're going to keep saying that this is... Because your theory is that everybody wants to get Trump to be deposed
in a Democratic
and make this happen. Okay, so you can't still keep calling it a Democratic witch hunt if Nancy Mace brought to the attention that she would like to subpoena Pam Bondi.
It's a Democrat and Nancy Mace witch hunt.
And Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, come on. It's what are you saying? These people matter within the party, within the movement. They support Trump in a variety of other ways, most other ways, actually. So if they don't support the idea that we will let anyone operate with any kind of impunity that may have been entangled with Jeffrey Epstein in relation to a crime, that's okay with me. Why is it not okay with you? Pam Bondi needs to explain the information.
Nancy Mace's list. It is. I read the whole thing yesterday. It's just everyone who has ever sent an email to this man. Is this you're one to bring up Is this what Trump should be focused on? Foreign policy. What about domestic? Is this what members of Congress should be focused on? That we're going to subpoena an interview? I mean, the Hillary Clinton one, the Bill Clinton one, that took 8 hours. They're going to spend the entire workday talking to every person who has ever sent an email to Jeffrey Epstein. Isn't there a budget to pass or something?
For sure.
You know what I mean?
I agree that everyone on that list probably doesn't need to be subpoenaed. But
Come
Pam
on.
Bondi, the fact that we haven't gotten here yet is ridiculous when she's at the helm. She's at the helm of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation.
We heard her before Congress just a few weeks ago.
Okay, but specifically people want her to talk about this in detail for 8 hours. No, she could spend the same 8 hours. If Clinton has to talk about this for 8 hours, then she should also have to talk about this for 8 hours.
Right. See, this is why they did the Clinton one, so that Republicans didn't.
No, they did it willingly. They did it willingly.
Right, the Clintons were willing to do it because it created an expectation that more Republicans would have to do it, and it was fine for the Clintons to do it because they didn't actually have any information to conceal or make them look bad.
There's further questioning,
especially Hillary.
There's further questioning for Pam Bondi specifically about political interference here. If there are ideas that now the way that these documents were mishandled, a lot of victims were harmed because the names were not redacted in the right way, but at the same time, you redacted President Trump and a bunch of other powerful men. For what reason? They want full explanations about why this was handed to you. Because last time we heard her speak, she blamed the FBI. And now it's bouncing back to her. So what is it? Tell the real story. Why is it changing so much? One succinct story will probably leave everybody who has all these questions that wants to continue down this Epstein conversation more satisfied. And also just releasing the rest of the files and explaining why there's still millions that haven't been seen yet and why you're pulling 47,000, I think, off the website and putting them back. Like, it's just sloppily handled.
MAGA,
she is at the helm.
MAGA, if you're listening, just listen to me very carefully. There are false reports in these documents that Trump and Epstein abused some little girl.
Uncorroborated claims.
Okay. The claims are false.
The right
claims
terminology is
false.
Uncorroborated claims.
Okay, that's fine. They're false, and there are probably other files like that of crazy people making totally false accusations about Trump and Mickey Mouse and whoever. And that is what Democrats are seeking to put into the public. These false accusations. So, MAGA, I am speaking directly to you. That is what's going on. You have to discern that. That is what Democrats, why they are interested in this now. It is an opportunity to introduce falsehoods about Donald Trump into the public awareness.
So what is Thomas
That's
Massey's
what Congress
reason?
voted
So
for.
what is Thomas Massey's reason then? He wants to also embarrass Trump. Is that his whole goal in life? He's going to make his whole personality to do that?
I've said I think he has spoken with the alleged victims, and I think he believes their stories, and that's nice. I don't believe their stories.
So why can't one Democrat also be on the same accord as Thomas Massey and care about the victims? They're not saying that there's no bad actors in here that want to get the last laugh in some way. I'm saying there are a lot of people in Congress and there are a lot of people that are involved in this. So you don't think that anybody else besides Thomas Massey has a good intention? And if they're a Republican, you just kind of wave them off like Nancy Mace has an actual want to get to the bottom of this?
I don't know what Nancy Mace's motivations are. I'm explaining what are the practical consequences of this crusade that she is on. And the practical consequences are going to be bad for Trump, bad for civil liberties, and bad for just people being informed, because the information that is being released is in some cases substantially and obviously and maliciously false.
You are the person that berated the Biden administration for the fact that they policed information. True or false?
But this is
no matter what the information was, true or false. I'm just saying. So then, don't police information now, especially regarding
the government
potential sex trafficking.
Shouldn't seize your phone as the result of a investigation or a warrant, and then print out transcripts of every text messages you've ever sent and blast them over the internet. That's not the kind of transparency I'm for.
Well, the law requires it. The law that President Trump signed, it requires it.
Big mistake. Up next, ladies at The View got fiery after Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Remember her? She's back, and she was defending ICE and Trump's border policies. Don't go anywhere.